Welcome on in, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, Zeph. Welcome on in, Ilianos. That'll be Sweepies. Welcome on in, Sora. Welcome on in, Hound Gwyn. Welcome on in, Gween. How you doing, Gween? Welcome on in, Mooney. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, Tias. Glad to have you as well. Welcome on in, Junko. Thank you for stopping by. Let me see who else we got. Welcome on in. Welcome on in, Suda. Glad to have you. Welcome on in, Cynictaval. Glad to have you. Thank you, Sora, for the 25 stream streak. Welcome on in, Phoenix. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm apparently on a Terraria kick again. Oh no, you've been nabbed for Terraria. You've been grabbed. But yeah, you know what, I'm not surprised. If there's one reason, like, you know, aside from the fact that in America you can't get around outside of you know, driving everywhere, the quality of our grocery stores and restaurants is also a pretty significant reason for our obesity rates. I had a flashback for a moment. But like the PTSD, like the time loop. Do you still suffer time loop post time loop stress disorder? Which had to tell you episode 6. I'm watching it later tonight after stream. I haven't seen it yet. I thought the time loop was back. No, this was the last song that was in the queue last time. So like I had to, you know. Welcome on to Ocean. I'm glad I get Sweet Bean. Okay. But yeah, so the idea is I want 3 people who are kind of like sitting to the side with very different expressions. I'm so glad the time loop isn't back. As much as y'all would like the time loop, I think it's time is over. The circles of spective. Welcome on in, Jaren. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. A little bit, the circles of the circle spective. The song is kind of my current mental state. Swashbuckling. Joyful but incorrect. So welcome on in, Kronos. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. But hopefully, happy weekend, everyone. Probably gonna lurk during our club for sure. I will say, as a heads up, my power has not been particularly stable recently. I've been having like weird power fluctuations. So if stream just like dies out of nowhere, assume that happened, and it's gonna take me like 3 to 4 minutes for me to get it back up, depending on the severity. Because unfortunately, like the power fluctuates just long enough for like my PC to shut off and for it to fuck up my internet connection. Sharky! Welcome on in! Thank you for the subscription for 49 months! Enjoy the afternoon emotes, you sweet bean.
Hi, chat, Starky17 Heart.
Can we get a shout out for Sharky Char and then also one for Hound Grim? The stream dies out of nowhere, I killed it. How you doing, Sharky? It's been a hot minute. Hopefully you're... last we chatted, you were dealing with some, what the fuck? Oh, I think you got hit by the cooldown. There we go. I put like a 5-second cooldown because it kept being the case where people like 2 or more of my mods would shout out someone and then the fucking entire chat would just look like a brick wall of links.
Uh-oh, Starky, help. Our paint machine is malfunctioning and is dispensing so much Borb-colored paint, and I don't know why.
Don't worry about that. The Borb-colored paint has no association with the Borbs at all. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Yeah, I'm hanging in there though. How's your day going? It's going okay. I get tomorrow off, which is nice. Welcome on in, G-Taryn. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Getting tomorrow off is actually like a huge... I mean, it sucks because I'm not getting paid for it. And I really could use the money, but like... let's see. But like, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Because we're having primary elections here in Indiana tomorrow. And I am going to get out and I'm going to vote. Other than that, tomorrow I'm probably going to be more Danganronpa. Yeah, we will be doing Danganronpa time tomorrow. A rant about Kasai. Zeph, what do you... Okay, I'll give it a shot. A day off is nice, though. Hold up a moment. We will be right back. We will be right back after this regularly scheduled rant about one of my mods. So, you know, if there's one constant in this universe, actually there's 2 constants in this universe, death and taxes. But I think the third constant would be Kasai's very bizarre obsession with mayonnaise. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't fully understand it. I don't understand people's obsessions in general with sauces a lot of the times. I grew up in the Midwest. I am, you know, I am the fucking, I am home base for ranch. The ranch as a sauce is the fucking, like, you know, the bread and butter of you know, the Midwest. But people here go fucking bonkers for it, and I personally don't kind of understand it. In the same way, Kasai is very bizarre and very strange about, you know, about mayonnaise in a way that I don't think I can fully, like, empathize with, but I do respect, you know? It's always mayonnaise with these rants. It's okay, I was told to rant about Kasai. What else am I gonna rant about? Seven Costa having a Discord kitten yelling matches, exactly. Welcome on in, Big O. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. Welcome on in, Fine Point and Brionic as well. Community show for Big O Luxray. But you know, I'm gonna be taking tomorrow off from. I get tomorrow off from work. I'm gonna go vote, and then I'm going to. So I got the secondhand Valve Index, and it's in good condition, but the headset, the like securing head strap is broken. So I'm gonna see about fixing that, and then tomorrow we'll be back on the we'll be back to playing Danganronpa 2. I feel like we're going through Danganronpa 2 a lot faster than we went through Danganronpa 1. I feel like the entire process of playing the game has been has gone significantly more quickly. Welcome on to Magic Guy. Good on you, Sweet Bean. 2 has less dead air. I suppose that's fair. So that collab I told you about fell through. That sucks, but I'm sorry to hear that, but you know, still, like it clearly you're doing something to be recognized, which is pretty cool. So I'm thinking like one locked in. One person's locked in. We got one person who's like one person who's just like chilling. Like doing art, and then there's just me in the background sobbing. This is the three approaches to art. Welcome to Magic Guide, though. Glad to have you as well. But no, this I definitely haven't been enjoying too. I'm excited because we are hitting the point that I was really enjoying myself in Danganronpa 1, which was hitting the like where they start expanding on like world lore and shit. I feel like I'm having a stroke listening to this. But yeah, hopefully y'all had good weekends. I'm trying to give you what I even did. I did have to take Friday off because I barely had enough time to get everything done during the weekend as it is. They wanted to pay me via a license of the program and affiliate link, but I already own it and didn't want to do a money value of the license instead. But no. What is Floxenausen hilopithication? But no, so Friday night, instead of streaming, I had to go get groceries. Saturday I got hit with a giga, like, super duper bad headache. It was rough. But luckily I ended up making it through. I did a tabletop RPG event, and I otherwise did ingredient prep. Also during the weekend, I was watching a certain friend of the channel, Dellington Luxworth, do a fucking spectacular job in a Rivals of Aether 2 tournament. So I was super duper happy to be able to be there for him. Or no, that was Sunday and Friday. But yeah, so that was like a fun way to kind of to spend the evening. I know, but the band is cool and indie too. There's a song with an indie animation I'm currently obsessed with. I saw them live back in Caro Caro Bonito, so then back in 2019. This is the only Caro Caro Bonito song I know. I think there's also one about like the Princess of Time or some shit. I don't know. Welcome to Kasai. So I'm thinking like, to be fair, I have to be kind of careful with the composition of this. Welcome on Zara Crisis. Good idea, Sweet Bean. Because I think it's gonna end up being so instead of like being, it's gonna like be a little bit forward. Hero, welcome on in. Can we do a shout for Hero and one for Zara Crisis every time? Congratulations, Hero. You've given me the hover pie. Oh no, I dropped the hover pie. I'm so sorry, Hero. I dropped your hover pie. But how you holding up, you sweet bean? So my thinking is, I actually probably should have looked to see if everyone's like, I'm good, just annoyed Twitch keeps on following people. Twitch is fucking frustrating. I actually was like, because I was stopped by someone's stream earlier, like yesterday, and I was like, wait, why isn't it popping up when I look up their name? I think they got like shadow banned on Twitch. Welcome on Chaos. Gotta get Sweet Beam.
I'm gonna come find you.
I'm obsessed with indie animation on YouTube. Zootopia, Portal, Akira, and Zoot Fully Coolly had an orgy. It's called Malmacan Appa. Also, you just message. Also, you just message Ixu to say hi. Wait, what? What? You should. Oh, okay. I see him. I do recommend making folders for each character because the layer count would be many. That's a fair point, actually. Is just like handling each character separately. This is a good like multi-layer practicing. But yeah, I probably should reach out just to say hi and kind of clear the air. It's one of those things where it's like you know, we're not. They're like you know, the situation that happened between us wasn't necessarily like either of our faults. It's just like. Life is complicated and shit, man. Starky's super bad about doing multiple layers. Meanwhile, I'm buried in mine. So, can I DM you something? Go for it. But yeah, so my idea is like, I might need to make better use of the vertical space here. But like, I kind of want like almost like a. Like a three, so it's 3 people drawing. I think I need to, because I think the perspective here is like more extreme than I'm giving it credit for. Sent. Did you just send me a gif of Ralph waving? You know what? I respect it. Okay. So I need to kind of like exaggerate the like, because this is another perspective thing where I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, because I want to do like you know, some people do like you know, they hold up the pencil in the air to like trying to figure out like the angle of the thing that they're like actually looking at, because the pencil ends up being like kind of like the perfect tool for like, oh, you know, they're like, okay, so the angle for this is like, you know, it helps you kind of figure out more what the lines are doing. And I feel like that's more of like a deliberate kind of action. I think Is that maybe someone? Should I give that to the person in the back? Just because it means that their arm is going to be so extended. Well, it also means like. I think maybe I need to do like a little bit of an overhead angle. I think that's because I'm thinking about it. Like I'm like I need to do a little bit of an overhead so that way like the arm can go down here. Would you press the red button or the blue button? Oh my god, not this shit. I'm not even on Twitter anymore, and I know about what you're talking about. Or just use a pencil like a ruler, thought experiment. Let's see. Okay, so then I would probably want to move you up. I'm going to try my best, but this angle is real fucking weird. Let's see. Hold up. Do I have a modeling tool? I'm trying. I definitely have like a doll. I just can't remember like what the program is called on my PC. Okay, I'm looking at visual reference. I'm not really getting what I want to. All right. So you should upgrade to an EX version of Clip because it's a built-in modeling doll. That would be handy, honestly. Especially you don't have one of those bar reference dolls with super detailed squishy muscles. Well, I mean, it wouldn't even necessarily like having a single doll wouldn't really help me because like I need in part the difficulty of this is that there are three people who are all in perspective reference to each other. So yeah, I'm here if you need help. I'm just gonna let you feel your way through this. It's like I kind of want to do something like this. So like this isn't necessarily like incorrect, but I also want to catch their expressions. So I almost like I want them kind of like, you know, I want like if I were like here looking towards them. Here. Check DMs. So now you did the perspective line for their heads. Casa, I appreciate the videos, but I'm like I haven't even started yet. It's not time to get distracted. The perspective line on their head, yes. Do that to the where the line do that to line up where they are aligned. Okay, here, let me give this a try then. So their knees, their asses, etc. Okay. So if I'm thinking about where the let me see, the horizon would be like massively kind of out of the way. Here. Let me use the straight line feature of the tool. The horizon would be about would be around the chin area. This is good practice for me understanding perspective better. Okay. Because this is okay. Trying to remind myself, this is 1 point perspective because I'm focused on. Where's your shirt? Twitch chat still. Welcome on this Zetfield. Good to have you, sweet bean. This is 1 point perspective. Because 1 point is you're looking at the corner of a thing. 2 points is you're looking at 2 points is you're looking at the a side of it, and 2 points is you're looking at the edge, and 3 points you're looking at specifically a single face. Trust me, I get it. Doing the hot spring piece was a pain because the 3 characters are different sizes. Yeah, it's one of those things where there's not even a particularly good reference angle for me to use. Okay. Give them some space. That way, I can work with the shoulders.
Please, please, do not push the button. You have no idea what it.
This kitchen is so
4 point. This 4 point perspective.
If only there was an easy
Also, get your
way.
jammers out.
New kitchen gun. Sparkles like new.
New kitchen sparkles like new. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Anyways, that was a good distraction. But yeah. The thing is, because it's okay. So this is roughly... Let's start with their general poses, and then I can figure out the specifics later. I arrived at the best moment. Welcome on, Ballerina. Glad to have you, sweet bean. So all 3 of them would be here. You know, middle point of the head, down, and down. Welcome on to Frozen Nutmeg. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Okay. So with this perspective, I kind of want their their shoulders would kind of go into the perspective line, I think. So you wouldn't even necessarily see his shoulder in the back, but you would see it up here. Okay. So if we're trying to get just the structural understanding. So what are you drawing anyways? I'm doing a 3-person perspective piece. Because I want to celebrate. So there was 2 people who started learning art about the same time I did. This is going to be vaguely a surprise because I don't think either of them are typical lurkers in my stream. But Fox Thief Brand, Dr. Wolfwalker, and I all started doing art at about the same time 2 years ago, and I kind of wanted to do because I've been wanting to draw more friends. So I've been I'm gonna do something that I'm in kind of in celebration of the fact that these 2 people are because their piece they've leveled up their art skills so deeply that I'm there are times where I feel I've fallen behind. Well, come on, think with the 70 stream streak. It's been 70 streams, and I must say, Starky, drink water. I haven't seen you drink water in 3 days. If you don't hydrate, you will actually dehydrate. I've drinking water this weekend. I'll have you know. I drink water today. Thank you for the hydrate again, even though I you know what, fine. Okay. So I'm thinking they're gonna be naturally kind of like hunched over. Because I'm thinking like you know, there's like those like little what's the term for it? Like, you know, it's kind of like a clipboard, but like sized up times 1,000. So that way you can like fit a full piece of sketching paper on there. If a streamer drinks water and chat's not around, are they even hydrated? That's a good question. Here, let's just draw it as is. Let's draw it using the guides I drew, and then from there I can mess with it. Like I can mess with each of their specific. I can mess with each of their specific, like, you know, situations. Oh my god. Which one of you, Kronos, you motherfucker? This wasn't me? I mean, you're correct. It wasn't you this time. Nani Sore? This is the boob song from Zatch Bell. It's very, very lemon. Very, very melon. Very, very melon. Sugar Song to Bitter Step is actually like, I can't remember where that is, but I definitely know my like my weebier friends were like obsessed with that song. Blood Blockade. That's it. Because Kekai Sensen, yeah. Let's see. So I want to bring arm out. Arm out. Actually holding arm straight out would be a pretty good Okay. This is one of the rare times where I actually just like I get to just draw the hand straight. Sugar Song to Bitter Step has its own fandom at this point. It kind of does. I feel like a substantial number of people who have heard about who love that song don't know about Blood Blockade. To be fair, I've only seen like a couple of episodes of Blood Blockade. We need to finish that at some point. Oh my fucking god, I hate anime, early anime. Which is a shame because it's fantastic. Do you know there are 2 seasons? I did not. I think we stopped at the chess episode. But the song is about just turning unlucky things to the bright side and a bitter song to Sugar Step. Okay. What the fuck is this? Kasai, what did you put on my queue? Low-key, I would love to be able to animate a dance sequence to BS and SS. Oh, break down if you're down to get down. I guess I'm always down to get down. I say sobbing for comedic effect and not at all. This is the song you hear before fighting a stance. Okay, this is looking reasonable so far. Some of these proportions are gonna need to get fucked with, like, but like so far these at least look like two humans that are in like in a reasonable like line with each other. Or before hearing a Nagito monologue about hope, we've had hope, we've had despair. Welcome on in, Star. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm new. Welcome on in. So the monologues so far have been justice, hope, and despair. Wait, what was Mikon's thing again that she wouldn't shut the fuck up about? I can't remember. Like fairness, you know, forgiveness. Okay, now for the third one, I'm gonna snap his neck. Here, let me figure out rough proportions first. Danganronpa is just a fever dream a little bit. Forgiveness. I wonder what where madness falls in the Danganronpa universe. Like in terms of the war between. You really need to find a way to do Mechamaru without wrecking your throat. I can do Mechamaru. My throat's better now. Like it specifically just is the fact that it like I can do Mechamaru's voice for 3 hours. Sorry, peeking at the corner of my eye while I'm in club meeting. Oh, good. I'm currently trying my best to figure out perspective because Jesus fucking Christ. Why do I do this to myself? Okay, so do something with your can I just suggest something with your setup? Go for it. Drake Loser, thank you for the follow. Welcome to live chat. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Okay, do Mechamaru for the rest of the stream to prove it? No. Put each skeleton on a different layer. You see, that would have been helpful advice, like, you know, a little bit ago, a little bit before I drew, you know, 2.5 skeletons. How have I not done this yet? The way your lines don't overlap, so you isolate them to duplicate the layer, or then erase. I suppose that makes sense. You're gonna give Starky the torsos and heads. You have to give those torsos and head more volume. I know. Like I said, this is very much like the Wait, so hope that helps. I'll stay watching. I appreciate it. Oh, Kim, thank you for the tier 1 subscription for 47 months. Trying to theme was a sweet bean.
Programmers who won't stop trying to merge into main. Fork off.
Big deal is proud to layer all the things for in for a minute, but what are we doing in here? I'm currently working on a gift art piece for 3 friends who started art about the same time I did, so that is where I am at. Emotionally speaking, I am dying inside, but like that's not, you know, that's not new. Aren't we all in our own spicy ways? But yeah, currently I'm trying my best to figure out how to put 3 people in a row. While also, like, you know, accounting for like different body shapes, sizes. Like I've given myself quite the fucking assignment. But to be fair, I always do this. I have a bad habit of biting off more than I can chew when it comes to projects. You will succeed. I will do an okay job. It is inevitable. I will do like didn't say you were doing it easier. Did you say you were doing? When have I ever said, "Oh, I'm gonna do something easier next time"? I might like as I'm in the middle of the process, but the instant I start up a new project, I'm never like, "Oh yeah, we'll do something easier this time." You literally said that during the Anthus lick piece. Yeah. Like I said, but that was when I was working on a different piece. Wait, is there multiple horny booba song? It's good to challenge yourself. Yeah. What? Oh, okay. This is the. There we go. And Zatch, yeah. Welcome on Aquila. Glad to have you, sweet bean. But then you don't get to complain about me doing pieces for others then? That is an entirely different topic. This turkey. Welcome on, you're good, Starky. Listen. I am bird in all ways except physical, and bird is creature sometimes. This point you should do three peeps and 3-point perspective. Unironically, I think 3-point perspective would be easier than what I'm doing. I think I think 3-point perspective is because 3-point perspective would just be all of them like in a row, so you only see the first one and then like the things like, you know, going on behind them. Or you see all of them like flat facing you. I think I've picked objectively the hardest possible perspective, outside of going into like the fucking weird esoteric ones. But yeah, this is part of the process. Part of the process is being a goober and recognizing your mistakes. I'm waiting for the sus part of the current song. I mean, so far it sounds relatively like wholesome. To be clear, I don't think you're making mistakes. You're just learning. I suppose that's fair. It, like the way I tend to learn is I throw myself in the deep end because I get bored really quickly. So like I throw myself as hard into a subject as I possibly can because I know that like that way I'm gonna stick to it because I want to figure stuff out. I mean, that's how I'm prepared in your streams. I suppose that's fair. To be fair, I don't think this is a Cupcake remix. No, this is just a normal. This is a song from Reverse 1999. Wouldn't Reverse 1999 just be 9,991? Well, come on, Corvid Bubble. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Could you shout out for Corvid? The last people don't trust me. I wonder why, Oceano. I wonder why people don't trust you, the, you know, most prolific poster of Cupcake remixes, to not post Cupcake remixes. You have to build rapport. You have to get them to trust you first before you betray them and make them listen to like a lady moaning for an extended period of time. I'm a tired bird. Understandable. Hopefully you can just like rest and chill out. It's fine. Starky's always assuming I'm making horny comments. I got one more final tomorrow, then I'm a free bird. To be fair, she's really talented at moaning. Okay. I'm just interested in seeing Singer, which was me. Think about C-pop song when I sung in Chinese came up. It's late. Good to catch you stream, Starky. You have a good one for sure. Thanks for stopping by, Drake. Have a wonderful evening. Okay. Okay, here, let me, because I think for this one in particular, I want the legs to be like straight. Like I want them to be kind of like straight out. Maybe the best idea to drink energy, drink at 6:30, but I digress. Yeah, that seems like a subpar plan for getting good sleep. You know, I'm not typically one to judge, but you know, if you're looking for validation in regards to your you know, your behavior, I still have to study more. How long have you been awake? Because at some point there is a diminishing return on studying. Welcome on, Meaty. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Well, we're waiting. Okay, and I kind of, so idea, break his spine. I plead the fifth. Breaks your spine. Breaks your spine. Need someone to break my back like a glow stick, non-sexual. Nah, own up to it. Make it horny. I do not have your best interest in mind. Honestly, go to yoga. Keep in mind, costs I take a nap after studying. Because like there is there is just an amount, like if you're studying for something last minute, also banger fucking song. The music for One Piece live action season 2 is fucking amazing. I mean, it could be, but I've been sitting for so long. I need for chiropractic purposes. Go to a chiropractor then. Don't go to a chiropractor. Go to a doctor. Chiropractors are like actually a huge scam. Chiropractors like straight up kill people every year. It's like it is one of like the pseudosciences. Alongside like energetics or, you know, I was actually rewatching a video from Funky Frogbait recently about spinal energetics. You know, that WWE move where you slam someone over your knee. Starky? Trendy? Can we just show for Trendy? How you doing, you sweet bean? Starky, do you know that cockroach milk is 4 times as nutritious as cow milk? You know, I'm not necessarily one to try the cock milk, I'll be honest. You'll have to discuss the health benefits of that with the rest of chat. I am. There we go. Cock milk there. Welcome on the Trendy. How you doing, sweet bean? I'm good. I'm good. Finished eating, doing my gotcha dailies. Hell yeah. I'm currently suffering in art. This is me right now. This is going to be me later, but this is me right now. And I'm going to be slouched over, fucking sobbing onto the worksheet. That's why I go to a FurCon though, right, Starky? Fair enough. Okay, I like the like structure here so far. But I think I need to move here. Move you up just a touch. Apparently, in theory, an acupuncture needle can harmlessly go through the lung, or so I've been told. That seems like kind of thing I would not want to test. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. I've given myself one hell of an assignment. This shoe is not hitting any nerves or blood vessels. Okay. Oh, okay. This is Sugar Song to Bitter Step. I was about to say, it's like, I thought I recognized this, and the answer is I absolutely did. There we go. I believe in you, Starky. I'll put something together. I always manage to make something vaguely okay. I mean, the big thing is, like, I always end up making something that looks like at least reads these days, and like in terms of like the thing that I'm trying to make. I think for the person in front, I want him to like lean back a little bit. I think that makes sense for like. Because to some degree, this is also like a practice in differentiating. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Oh, you're gonna hear me say the fuck out of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Once heard of an artist that can't visual images at all. Yeah, what's the term for that? Aphantasia. Aphantasia apparently is like relatively common. Because I know someone like, and also apparently it's like some amount of it is like a skill you actually can like learn and upgrade as time go. Like it is a thing you can learn how to do. With there's some amount of studies that suggest like psychedelics can like play a factor in it. I watched an artist streamer that has it. I don't have aphantasia. I am able to conjure up the apple in my mind. I'm a wizard. I'm the wizard of apple summoning. I leave for 2 seconds to go to get pasta and you talk about milking bugs. Listen, that one wasn't my fault. That one was Cam Cool's fault. Blame him. I can for like a 2-second period and then it's gone. I can conjure the apple, but don't count me being able to maintain details. I think to some... I do wonder, like, how much of it is a practiced skill. Because, like, I have a relatively good, like, 3-dimensional reasoning. To the point where I was able to skip a college class. Because I'm able to, like, understand things in 3 dimensions relatively easily. But, like, I can maintain it. I can maintain it, and, like, for me, it's, like, the opposite. Like, if you give me time, I can build up the details around it. I might be closer to hyperphantasia, if anything. I can... And, like, there is, like, an amount of, like, I'm sure, like, the details warp as time goes on. That actually might be, like, an interesting little thing. It's, like, you know how, like, some people will do, like, one-line drawings without looking at the canvas? I would be interesting to see, like, if I could do that with, like, an image in my mind. I do think this is probably too long. What the fuck is... Oh, okay, it's Zatchbell again. I can remember very specific phrases and random things that have been pulled from like a decade ago, but if you ask me to describe what I saw, I'm done. I wonder how much of that is like... To some degree, I think it's kind of funny, like how, because like you know, there's a ton of artists out there that have aphantasia, and there's a ton of artists that have, I'm cackling, we aren't listening to the dub ones. But like... This sounds like fucking Dio's voice actor. Hold up. Hold up. I'm curious now. What the fuck is the name of the very melon guy? So this is Victoriam? Okay, so... I don't know. Let me see. Zatch Bell, Victoriam voice actor, Japanese. Is this... It's Norio Wakamoto. Takahito Koyasu is apparently the Dio voice actor. What has Norio Wakamoto done? Wouldn't surprise me, most older Japanese VAs are also able to, supposed to be able to sing. Is he still doing stuff? He was apparently the voice of Vicious and Cowboy Bebop. Da 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 what do do do. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Holy shit, motherfucker. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Thank you, Crisp. To be fair, this is also a banger. This is an all-time banger. Dude, goddamn fucking shit. Son of a motherfucking bitch. Oh shit. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. I've not seen Carol on Tuesday. Wait, what? Where did the shut board not go off? What the fuck? Oh, wait a second. Hold up. The US VA is also the VA for the UEITS who plays the card named The World. Amazing. Hold up, let me check real quick the servers. Yeah, it's fucking disconnected from... Okay. Boy, I love, Wait. Wait, did StreamerBot stealth crash on me? You fucking coward, StreamerBot. That's okay, so that's why some of the redeems have been broken. StreamBot stealth crashed. I love it when programs that I rely on for things stealth crash. Motherfucking bitch. Oh shit. Unless it's like giga broken? Because that's mixed up. That's BikuBot. It just I saw Windows reporting problem and I'm like, I think StreamerBot might be borked. Run as administrator. Fuck you. When in doubt, the run as administrator is the opposite of like kill process with task manager. Kill process with task manager is you motherfucker go to sleep. Run process with I'm hearing the word gunk. Okay, what actually is going on though with StreamerBot? It's because the guy behind these songs is still around. Yeah, StreamerBot just like is giga dead. I don't know what happened. Okay, it opens very briefly and then it fucking crashes. Here, let me fucking kill it myself. The problem is I don't remember what redeems off the top of my head. Yeah, why is it... That's so weird. I've never seen this happen before. All right, I guess I have to restart my PC tonight. Getting salad fingersed? Hey, Kasai, what the fuck? The song is from the girl from Byakuya. I have no idea what that is. Well, it's against my will, to be clear. The song is from Paprika by... Oh, Satoshi Kon... Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was like, I recognize Paprika, and I was like, oh, okay, this being a Satoshi Kon song makes a ton of sense. Rest in peace, a fucking legend. Taken before his time. Okay. Do we start... I guess the question is, do I start from front to back or back to front? Hello, I like rusty spoons. The feeling of rust against my salad fingers feels almost orgasmic. Hold up, what the fuck even is salad fingers? I want to be honest with you. I've heard of it. Susumu's songs are like in its one special genre because of the way it sounds. Also, welcome on, Tommy. It's gonna have you, sweet bean. Okay, that is so bizarre because like why it opens, is suspended, and then fucking dies. StreamerBot, elaborate. Oh, is StreamerBot fucking down? Oh my god. Hold up, let me check real quick. No? That's fucking weird. Just if you think about hydrate. Oh well. No Taha silly redeems then, unfortunately. My condolences, my apologies. I'll take a sippy too. You'd better. Grabs you. What's the matter, honey? You haven't touched your praise kink water bottle. It's still full up. I do love that image. Image is one of my favorites. Okay, so this one's probably the best way to handle this is probably to let me see. Create a layer folder and insert layers. Here we are. Let me just rename these so that way I have a better idea of what I'm working. Go ahead and touch your white, thick, and creamy bottle. I can't remember what it was, but I definitely I seem to remember something about like the I want to say it was a post by either Vince Wolf or Tibby, where talking about like Tibby making Vince's pre-workout and something horny happened, and I can't remember. To be honest with you, I feel like that's like that's the two of their brand. I think that's great for them. Man. Why did they make King DDD Southern? Why did they give him a Southern accent? Welcome on this adventure. Go ahead, you sweet bean. Clobber that there cubby. Why not? You know, that's fair. Okay, question. Southern accent, hot or not? I think I find the Southern accent a little appealing. I love it when they do that kind of thing. Hot, yes, yes. For me, it's like, isn't Mennonite? Yeah, the Mennonite, they gave him a Hispanic accent for some reason. That's why I love the dub accent for Erina for Food Wars. Isn't she very Valley Girl? She's very Valley Girl coded in the dub, if I remember right. The only thing that I don't know why my brain was like, it chose to remind me of the one thing where she's like, this breast milk lacks depth of flavor. Welcome to Ruffles. Good idea, sweet bean. That honest to God scene. Honest to God scene. I'm not making that up. That is an honest to God scene in Food Wars. It's why, even though like Food Wars is like a really interesting show, I can't fucking recommend it to anyone in good faith. Foghorn Leghorn is up there too for good Southern accents. I need to give more characters Southern accents, because I actually can do a relatively stable Southern accent. I grew up listening to something approaching a Southern accent. So, in terms of accents I can do, it's the one that I knew most stable. Too bad about Teru. Yeah, I guess I could have given Teru a deep fried Southern accent. Food Wars is a good manga. You can skip past the sussy parts. Yeah, but that would make you a coward.
Rats, rats, where the
What's up, Chris?
rats?
Remember folks, you don't choose the food war, but Food Wars chooses you.
Cam, you always skip through your stories. Cam is a notorious story skipper. Remember how you recommended Shield Hero to folk without remembering the essay? Like, yeah, okay. So that's the problem with skipping over. You know, I'm aware of the problematic parts of the shows that I genuinely enjoy. It's a pretty solid Southern gentleman. The Southerner approves. Well, to be fair, Indiana is basically the southern state of the Midwest. We are the Bible of the Buckle Belt for a reason. But like, yeah, there's a reason why, like, even though like there's stuff that I like that I know has problematic elements, I don't shy away from the problematic elements. I actually think that there's like, here's the thing, I do not skip over manga. I do admit to sometimes skipping anime/movies. I'm forgetful of some story points. Okay, I'm about to say something that like is like I need to qualify. I think that there. Not for like mindless horny shit, but I think that there are times that there are stories that people write with the intention of making an element uncomfortable, and people don't necessarily engage with that well. Like, and I'm not talking about like the example that comes to mind immediately because of the prevalence of it online is like Hell of a Boss or Has Been Hotel, where like these people are just kind of assholes and they suck. And like that's not really what I'm referring to. I'm thinking more of like the people who like it's, you know, I think the best example is actually like Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Because Scott Pilgrim at the beginning of that movie is a fucking asshole. He is a piece of shit. And a lot of people won't watch it because he is such a fucking despicable character. He is dating a teenager. That's like the entire starting point of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. There we go, exactly.
She's 17, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, you're not supposed to like him. You're supposed to watch him grow and develop. And like, you know? And like the ending where he realizes that he's kind of been a huge dick and his only like his life has fallen to pieces because of his own decision making, and like then making the decision to make his own life better makes that moment more impactful. And I think that that's like an element that a lot of people miss when they engage with media, is that like, you know, that sounds like a pretty good basis for not wanting to give a character a chance to grow or watching some other show. That's true, everyone sucks at Scott Pilgrim, but that's probably, I think that there is an amount of how do I describe it? I think it is in good, like, okay, there, you know, to some degree I understand where that base impulse is coming from, because I do think that there are shows that just revel in the horniness for its own sake and don't actually like address it as a problem. I'm looking at you, a lot of anime. It's remarkable how they were able to do a rebuild of Evangelion and make Scott Pilgrim Takes Off so good. There's a funny Chucklebone parody where Scott gets wrecked by a giant spoon. Because there are shows that just like, oh, like here's a guy who's weird at teenagers, and then like instead of painting that as realistically problematic, they like lean into it and they're like, oh, that's just his primary character trait. Don't worry about it. That's the Minettas of the writing world, and we all hate them. But I think that there is space to engage authentically with characters who are going through arcs. And I think if you have a character who's going through an arc, you kind of need to make them suck. It's like that's the entire reason why like Subaru from ReZero is such a like beloved character, is because when you first interact with Subaru is a fucking piece of garbage. He's such a fucking dick. Subaru's first impulse when he gets isekai'd is to pretend like he owns the world and treat everyone like dog shit. And he gets killed so many times because he's this huge fucking ego and this entitlement. But like the reason that you grow to love Subaru is because you see where he started. And I think that that's the kind of thing where it's like, I think it is in part like, it isn't like, you know, the never read what? I've heard Redo of a Healer is one of those. Redo of a Healer is, it very much is what I was describing earlier, where like the main character sucks, but also they don't do anything to develop him and he continues to suck for, you know, the rest of the writing. But like, Starky, will this be turned into a free rant court? Yeah, honestly, kind of, yeah. But like, I think it is in like there, you know, in recent years, I guess, the concept of like literate, like, you know, literacy, what's the term for it? Fuck. What's the term for it? Um, not like illiteracy as a media literacy. You know, I think there is like, I think it is in part, and it is an important part of media literacy to engage with stories that involve characters that you do not like to or relate to. Because I think the core of stories is like sharing perspectives. And I feel like through perspectives, you gain a better understanding of how people are experiencing the world. That having been said, I do appreciate fully, like, I 100% understand where people are coming from, where I'm like, I don't want to, like, engage with that shit because, like, it is a minefield. There is just dog shit out there. And that is such a valid, like, that's such a valid struggle. Oh, come on, Alberio. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I literally see Redo of a Healer as a hentai on main. Oh, absolutely. Redo of a Healer is, by all justifications, a fucking hentai they put on television. Welcome on, Alberio. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. But it's just like, because there's this saying that I think rings very, very true from my experience, where like good art comforts the disturbed and disturbs the comfortable. And I think even for people like us, where we are queer in a world that is actively hostile to us, there are still things we take comfort in. And I think it's worth recognizing that that's not necessarily a given. Empathy is a good skill, even if it, you know, even if it is to fucking, you know, I think it's important to understand monsters, because I think by understanding monsters, you can prevent them from happening again. I've seen one episode of Redo of a Healer, I never touched it again, which I don't regret. No, you're not missing much. You're not missing much. Like we said, it's a hentai. It's a hentai. I love the phrase "one of those fucking things" as like anime shorthand for like a story that's like a revenge porn plot, where it's like, oh, the main character is so bullied by society, and then he gets to take out all of his frustrations by killing the people who are bullies to him. You know, the school shooter genre. We need to learn good content from old anime like Satoshi Kon or JoJo's. Exactly. Anyways, now that I've completely fucking waxed the conversation into an area where it can only go poorly, I've been enjoying watching Witch Hat Atelier. I need to find a way I can watch. I need to find a way I can watch Akane Banashi, because I watched the first 3 episodes of that, and that show is real fucking good. Because like it is rare that I see like it is like, you know, an upsetting truth, but I do feel like there's a distinct rarity for female leads in shonen. Actually, hold up. What if I instead of, oh, you know what? Hold up. No, I'm not gonna give that to Wolfwalker. I'm gonna give that to Bran. Bran's gonna have his paws up. Which means I need to probably like dip the knee down a little bit. Like, you know, here, and then push the paw up here. There we go. I'm fucking... Wait. Oh, I am on the wrong layer. God damn it. I thought I opened the correct folder, but I was wrong. I was incorrect!
wretch. We're wretch. We're the wretch.
Just so you know, Sword Art Online's plot every new season is just the same tropes on different plot, like just cool new world, something bad happens, deliberate essay charge, conclusion.
It really is astounding the number of times that like, okay. I know, you know, the mangaka behind SAO has acknowledged that, like, what he did was tacky. But also, he did it a fuck ton. He kept making essay moments in Sword Art Online, and I'm like, dude, come on. This is this is not cool, man. I you know, for all of its absurdity, the swan dive into an essay bed, like, reaches the, like, level of, like, surrealism where I can't help but laugh at it. Like, that's not a joke, by the way. Hold up. Where's the fucking... It's insane how off it was. Let me see if I can find SAO Alicization Swan Dive. Please. Please let me be able to find this video. Welcome on to Giganta. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Good show for Giganta. How you doing?
Deda GASM.
But no, like, there's a point where they're trying to establish how, like, broken this world is. And, like, they're like, oh, like, look at how bad everything is. Look at how fundamentally, like, you know, wrong this is. And then they do that by having a character swan dive into a sexual assault. It's fucking bizarre. I thoroughly enjoyed Ori Monogatari, my love story, because it was a shoujo romance manga with a male protagonist who was considered unattractive by Japanese standards. I love the most positive thing I hear about SAO is the Gun Gale spinoff. That's also the only positive thing I've ever heard about SAO, is the spinoff was all right. If I had a nickel for every time SAO has an essay scene, I'd have a quarter, which isn't a lot, but it's really crazy how many times it happened in the series. Okay, this is the kind of thing where I'm like, I've not watched enough of it. I like... There was a period of time during the pandemic where, like, it was just, like, incidentally I had Toonami and SAO Alicization was on there, and I was just, there is something hysterical about watching that. Like, it is like, there are times where SAO is a fun hate watch. My personal favorite was like Kirito's soul has been separated from his body due to technology bullshit, and his unconscious corpse fucking manifests a, like, harem sleepover party the night before a, like, you know, like a war for survival between monsters and humans. And I'm like, as I watch this happen, and I'm like, are you for fucking real? Tomorrow you are fighting for your lives. What do you mean you're having a sleepover right now over the unconscious guy stuck in the wheelchair? Welcome on in, Kenny. Glad to be a sweet feet. Good show for that, Kenny guy. SAO was like the base idea that could have been good, and they SAO'd it. Yep. SAO says goonicization. Hope you're well, friends. We're doing all right. Currently trying my best to so the structure I've chosen for this piece is a lot. Welcome on in, NX. Glad to be a sweet bean. I was gonna shout out for NX. But, like, we're currently talking about bizarre anime nonsense. Honestly, I like the season 1, and that's it. The other season felt super plain after middle school, and the isekai trope is just a bunch of SAO ripoff. You know, I can't really remember why I did all this in the first place. SAO season 1 wasn't even good. Even the fucking Sword Art Online, like, the original arc, is not even good. Fuck, Kayaba's speech at the end alone should be enough to kill the entire franchise dead. Yeah, currently I'm trying my best to handle what is almost certainly going to be one of my most complex pieces. because I'm a fucking idiot and I keep doing this to myself. One. It felt fresh at the time, but now the cheese has gone molded in the bad way. I do love SAO Abridged. SAO Abridged is great. SAO Abridged is genuinely like a fucking amazing, like, you know, they handle the source material way better than the source material did. They're almost done with Alfheim. I need to catch up on SAO Abridged. SAO is like, if you die in the game, you die for real, and halfway through you wonder if the writer got replaced by an alien or took horny bath salts or something. It's just like, I don't know, man. SAO is like one of those, okay, you know what, since it's the 4th of May, I'm gonna go ahead and state an opinion that's gonna make, statistically speaking, one of you kind of like mildly annoyed at me. Star Wars isn't a good series. It's not nearly as good as you think it is. It is a 7 out of 10 that people treat like a 10 out of 10. It is massively overrated. As much as I show, Brent has a budget to merely make it without like a year break. Hard agree. I just like, okay. So like as time has gone on, I like it's kind of through no fault of its own, but I've grown to hate Star Wars, in part just because of like how much of it has been spoofed for a movie that isn't particularly good in the first place. Like, what are we doing? Never watched a single movie, agreed. Understandable, I really never got into the sci-fi fantasy like Star Wars. And like, you know, may the fourth night be with you is what makes it a 10 out of 10. You know, I like the part of the Star Wars said where Luke Star Wars was like, I'm gonna Jedi all over the place. He said it's Jedi time, and then he Jedi'd all over the place. It's like, that's like, you know, I recognize that I am producing a straw man, and I do appreciate that there are like very real, you know, like it is an old movie. It is a product of its time. Start getting on his contrarian soapbox, like, but also like, I feel like if you took like if Star Wars was released today, or like you know, if it didn't take off at the time that it did, I feel like it would not have survived the cultural zeitgeist. I could just never get into it. I see the appeal, it's just not my type of deal, I guess. It's one of those things where it's like, I feel, I don't know. It's not even necessarily like frustration, so much as it is like, I guess, weird about the fact, like, it's just like, I don't understand it. The upcoming Mando movies, it looks like a 3 out of 10. It feels like no one wants to make it. It feels like a corporate, gray, ambitiousless slop. It's just like, I wish I could understand. I wish I could. But like, I feel like at this point, no amount of like, you know, context production is going to like justify the sheer amass of like of like, you know, discourse I've seen around the movies. Okay, here, let me grab I think Dr. Wolfwalker is a Worgans. Let me see what Worgan faces look like. Okay, Worgan faces are kind of like, they kind of got like a they got a little bit of box snoot. It's a little bit of box snoot, but like it's kind of like you know, centered around the, but in just like, I don't know. And like, you know, it's like, oh, I recognize that I'm never beating the fucking like the hipster allegations. I know that. But like, I guess the big thing is like, even if I did think it was good, what fucking, like, you know, would I be happy if something that I liked got giga popular? I don't know. I think I just like there's just a not insignificant chunk of humanity that I'm just like, why are you like this? And like the idea of sharing something like, you know, the idea of sharing an interest with them at some point becomes like unappealing. Is that like too hipstery? Like, am I admitting that like I'm just like fundamentally broken as a person?
We're wretch. We're the wretch.
The whole plot between the light and dark side in Star Wars can be solved if the Jedis can learn how to be more emotionally mature.
I have I've not seen Star Wars, so I cannot vocalize an opinion. I am aware of like the underlying idea, which is that like the Jedi hold such incredible power that in order to not be like shunned by society, they have to like employ harsh rules and standards on themselves. Okay, so it's definitely boxy. We're definitely at some level of box snoot. This is like a category 6 box snoot. Okay, so it needs to be kind of parallel to that. So there we go. So that's what the snoot is looking like. Let's see. It basically just goes like, it looks like the snoot is like there's no cheek jowl. It's just boop the snoot. A very we're trying to make a boopable snoot. Jedi's taught not to have any attachments, and the Sith are just Jedi who burned out from their own emotional neglect. Can I put cat in the snoot since they're boxes? That sounds Vorny. You've not thought through the consequences, or you are in Devor. Can I boop the beak? You may boop the beak once.
Wretch. We're wretch. We're the wretch.
Look him the Jedi. In order to gain balance in the Force you must have no emotion. Just bottle up all your frustrations. That's the true path to lightness. And that one kid we bought from slavery and forced to leave his mom behind just killed a bunch of kids.
Booping the beak exactly one time. I did not think of Vor, lol. Because it is like, oh, welcome on Imbellis. Gotta be sweeping. Currently, Vor mentioned. Oh no, we've summoned Imbellis by talking about Vor. How you doing now? I'm currently in the process of trying to draw a box snoot. It's a little boxy, a little boxy. Good for snoot boops. But hopefully you're doing well over there. How you holding up? Nope, that's not the right layer. I'm doing a bit better now, thankfully. Not me realizing that I'm a goobus and I didn't realize that you were struggling. I'm sorry. But I'm glad you're doing better now. Fuck, wrong layer. Post the emotes. Post the emotes in light of my shame and failure. Better is relative. Today was still a 2 out of 5 day, but it's much better than the 1 out of 5s I've been having recently. Yeah, I'm sorry that you've been dealing with that, but hey, hopefully you can just snag a chance to relax here. currently we're drawing snoots. We're drawing snoots as best as I can. I am not particularly amazing at drawing snoots. Also stuff to look forward to, like Foie. Yeah. Oh, you're also going to Foie? Be sure to give everyone big hugs for me. Unfortunately, it's not necessarily super easy for me to go to Foie. Cries, and fucking giant ass McGee can't fly easily. You're drawing snoots wonderfully. I'd like to think I'm doing an okay job. I start to remind myself that I'm not married to this head shape. Next time I drive past, you'll stop by your place. You'll have to give me a little bit of a warning because my place is a little bit okay. The playlist is empty. I won't lie. I understand that. I understand the 2 to 5 days. It's been one of those months so far too. What is happening? There we go. Yeah, everyone always tells me to just fly there without considering how hard it is to fly as a bird of my stature. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I could have reasonably gotten a ticket for paid entry into Evo, but
Happy May the 4th be with you, but it's Cinco de Mayo manana. Back to back good days.
welcome on, Dallas. So I'm glad I have a sweet bean. I'm glad you missed us earlier. Complaining about Star Wars then. Hold up. I love OBS. I love how the scroll works for OBS. But no, like I definitely know that this month has been like a bit last month was definitely a bit difficult in terms of like feeling I was getting anything done. Not to mention that Spirit Airlines is gone now too, making it much harder to find flights. To be fair, I was never able to fly Spirit Airlines, unfortunately. I mean, I guess it complicates things insofar as that now, like, other people who would be taking the Spirit Airlines will now be taking the planes I hypothetically could. I would say to just drive down, but, like, not in this economy. Yeah. Because, like, what? This, from my house to Atlanta is definitely, like, a 16-ish hour drive. And, like, I have a pretty fuel-efficient car, but even then, that's still, like $100 to drive. All forms of travel are going to keep failing at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately. Here's hoping that, when the bubble bursts and the economy collapses, a bunch of rich people will die and we can actually, like, enjoy our lives without their presence. There we go. Got anything fun going on this month, Starky? No. I'm thinking, and I got nothing, unfortunately. I am gonna try to be at AC, I think. So if you are going to AC, I will try my best to be there. I actually need to do some planning around the logistics of that. Is AC in DC? No, it's in Pittsburgh. No, this year, no burp hugs. I'm sorry. Okay. Think about, like, what is this shape? It's just kind of like a... It's yet another rectangle, I think. But it's okay, I'm doing a beach trip with some fur pals. Nice! Hopefully that's fun. Honestly, though, if you want to do selective groups of pals, do beach trips. I'd want to give the bird a hug at AC or an MFF are kind of far now. Understandable. It would, yeah, and the other convention I go to every year is Indie FurCon, which I assume probably isn't going to be much easier. And Gen Con? Oh yeah, and Gen Con. Because I keep dragging you there. I mean, I enjoy getting dragged to Gen Con. Admittedly, it's not, for me, it's not quite as appealing as a furry convention, but... Okay. Okay, so kind of got the... Oh my god, who put Dad Rock in here? Phoenix. You're lucky I like Dad Rock. And I'm sorry to say that this is undoubtedly Dad Rock. I was flashbanged for a bit. It could be ska. This is not ska. Bad news, good news kind of a thing. Couple of roles I auditioned for an anime to get picked, but they still wanted to cast me for a few bits / walla for the anime. Heck yeah, that's awesome. No, I could put ska in. I'd be down for ska. I enjoy ska, unironically. The only one, it's not over. Must not wait too much time. It break me down. I think furries call people like you gray muzzles. I would... Voice acting would be so fun to do, but unfortunately it's definitely nowhere even remotely close to being on the list at the moment.
Be like AC or DC at MFF, but babe lemmy FW or A at MCFC, then she fame ILV in the FC.
Yeah, that makes sense. 34 means gray muzzle. I am, in fact, the youngest person in my IRL friend group. Which is weird to think about, because people call me Unk on the internet. Wait, I Silver Dirk, does that mean I'm always gray muzzle? You were always a gray muzzle. I mean, to be fair, the trauma adds 5 years. No, that's not the joke. The trauma adds 10 years. I'm the youngest person in my furry friend group. Friend group. One halfway into the grave, then points at you, infant, child, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so the things kind of curve out and then they curve up. Yeah. How far do the things... Okay, so they don't quite reach beyond... Oh, I think their snoot's a little bit like it's not quite as thick as I was thinking it was. You can tell I'm a poser because I didn't recognize that this was Evanescence. Time cannot erase. Wild song choices. I mean, okay, this is what happens. So, like, this is the emergency backup queue. The dad rock will continue until more songs get added to the queue. I went straight from Normie to Grey Muzzle. SMH, I never got to the part of the Poppy Fur group. I mean, to be fair, the Poppy Fur it's like not really a thing. It's when I say Poppy Fur, I mostly use it as a pejorative for people who like care more about the numbers than they care about individuals. Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. Poser. This is one of those situations where I need to like here. The pain is just too real. Worgans are toothy creatures. They got lots of teethies. Teethies. Moths. They got moths for days. I'm not a huge Maw guy. I'm not a huge Maw guy either, to be honest. But I'm like, I want to do justice. I want to do some justice to what is a relatively what is a baseline good design. Admittedly, to be fair, I probably should take a look here. I know for a fact they're on Blue Sky. You see, this is why it's important for me to check, because like he actually doesn't got like the full row of front teethies. He's definitely got he's got the big things going on. And they actually kind of curve inwards. I like the parts I get to cuddle with. I mean, you can technically cuddle with a Maw. You just have to be into a specific subset of activities.
Wretch, wretch.
Okay, it curves ever so slightly inwards.
It has been brought to my attention that I'm the only DM that pushed my players and they were excited about it. So I think me being a DM for D&D was a cursed idea.
Maws feed to a bunch of kinks as well. That's fair. You gotta have the teethies for little nibbles.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
I was not the player who got pregged.
Good to know. Methinks the bird doth protest too much, though. It makes you feel better when I impregned a friend. It got the baby daddy killed when he tried to shape up and be responsible. That did in fact happen. That did happen. I'm aware of that happening. It was a very, very normal tabletop RPG shenanigans happened. What?
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
Can the pregged player present himself to us?
Listen, there's no way I can explain the candy plane in a way that is not horrifying, because it, objectively speaking, just is horrifying. We don't talk about the candy plane. And preg is not one of my kinks. It actively feeds into some of my neuroses. Yeah, but when you're in a plane of candy and you eat your friend, where in a plane where you know, eating people is part of the process of procreation. I don't know what they expected. Probably not to get empregged, but like, here we are. Okay, he's got like a little goatee going on. Okay. Imagine if your doctor's name was Dr. M. Preg. I feel like if you have the name Dr. M. Preg, you're like legally obligated to go into gynecology and obstetrics. Or it's because it's obstetrician, right? Obstetrics. Okay. I couldn't think of the fucking base form of that word. Why is this? This is giving like immense Kirby energy in a way that I kind of find it difficult to like explain. Also, waking up to an indie game studio Discord being everyone ping spammed Mr. Beast Nosferatu being dropped was not my bingo card for today. Evo from the SNES. This is from the Evolution game, right? How do you know about this game? This is the first time I've heard about it. So you like techno? I like techno a decent amount. You like jazz? I actually do quite enjoy jazz. I sure you play Chrono Trigger. I mean, if we're gonna put old chiptune music, someone get the fucking the Alan, Tim Follin. Someone get the Tim Follin songs. Hopefully people know what I'm talking about when it comes to Tim Follin. Because if not, I will put on a Tim Follin song, and you guys will be fucking sent from your computers into space. You'll be sent to Jesus. Lost song I must ban for my current obsession. I love Millie songs. They're such a fucking... Sure, we know. Hold up. Hold up. You all must be educated. You all must be educated. In the ways. How do I immediately throw you in the deep end, or do I start you with the one that you probably have heard? Let's start you with the one that you, statistically speaking, you've most likely heard. We're about to start, we're about to run our second set of ads. We're going to turn off pre-rolls. We don't have to do ads. As soon as they join the stream, feel free to go grab snack. We'll be here when you come back. This is Tim Follin was a composer for the NES, and he got the most out of that fuck-ass sound chip. Pictionary. This isn't even Pictionary. This is Silver Surfer. Pictionary also isn't even the hardest he went. Pictionary is harder than this, but there is one song that he went even harder on for no fucking reason. Why did... Have you heard of the soundtrack for the Scott Pilgrim games? I think so? I seem to remember them being kind of a banger, for sure. He did this for us. This is the music of the people. This is music he did for humanity. Scott Pilgrim's Anamanaguchi soundtrack? Wait, it's Scott Pilgrim's soundtrack got Anamanaguchi? Excuse me? Okay, so I wasn't aware of Scott Pilgrim's soundtrack. Yes, okay, apparently we gotta listen to that as well. Yep, both of them. Want to give co-op a shot at, I have both. I tried to play Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I think I got, like, I was, like, frustrated because the enemies were so tanky. I think even the single player is kind of balanced around having, like, a friend to, you know... So maybe playing it again with, like, a friend would be beneficial. Okay, so that was Tim Follin's Silver Surfer. Now, the Pictionary OST. Damn, they're just playing Fictionary. I'll be honest, most of my experience with this music has been shapes and beats. Remember correctly, Tim Fullen doesn't even like chiptune music. He it wouldn't surprise me if like the dude's just like, yeah, I did everything I could with this. It's too limiting at this point. Okay, I like the shape, but I think I need to rotate it a bit. Or maybe like pull it back. So it was Pictionary, and now for my personal favorite Tim Fullen song. This is for a little this is for a little puzzle game that no one gave a shit about named Solstice. This is the title screen theme song. It just no build up hits you with a fucking train. Tim Fullen's a fucking psychopath and I love him. This is like the only noteworthy thing about this game, by the way, is the fucking title theme song of it. These go so hard they feel modern? Oh, absolutely. Like, I feel like if you just change the instrumentation a little bit, or like you could just play this for like a modern audience and tell them, yeah, it's in the style of chiptune, but done by like a modern composer, and they'd be like, yeah, I can hear it. I just realized the eye is supposed to be like way, way lower down. I swear to God, some of this shit like must have been like referenced by Zun for some of his compositions. Sippy. But no, Tim Fullen was like, I think he's still around. Let me tell you. Okay, now we can go back to the playlist. Now that you all have been educated in the ways of Tim Fullen. Let me tell you, property law is not my favorite type of law. According to his wiki page, he actively avoided listening to other music when composing out of worry he'd unintentionally rip off other songs. God damn. That's some fucking horror. That's Giga Chad behavior, to be honest. Okay. So like this? I'm trying to figure out like how the head shape here is supposed to work. Something kind of like that. I want like a squinty, like one of his eyes closed. Welcome on, Crash Hall. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Let's see. This might be one of those situations where I need to like bring the eye size up a bit. Exaggerate the features a little bit. There's so much that goes into the artistic process. Like this is the why there's definitely like always a point very early on where I realize that I've made a mistake. And this one, yeah, for here, like the understanding the mistake of the scale that I'm working with is definitely apparent. I have to also remind myself that this is not line art. I'm allowed to be kind of sketchy with it. We've already had this. You know what? I'll allow because it's a banger. me throwing the song out of the crib because I've already listened to it once. My ADHD demands more satisfaction. They're fucking bitch. Oh shit. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-ba-bum, ba-dum. Oh, this is gonna be one of those pieces I need to clean up a fuck ton in post. This is gonna need to be cleaned up a bit later, but I mean, I do think I'm improving my ability to put together facial features relatively quickly. Like that, this, you know, putting something together like this would have taken me, oh god, it's been 2 hours. I guess to be fair, I did work on the overall composition. So like I can't, oh. The question is this the real version or? No. Okay, it is the real version, I'm pretty sure. The last song, not this one. But after being questioned about the president's policies, they would instantly win the election. I've become so numb without a soul. My spirit's sleeping somewhere cold. Find just made me lean back home. The last song, you sing this maybe want the Gay Men's Choir to do a cover of this song. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Name and save me from the dark. Thing I've become. Ooh. Wait, Hasmo released an OST album in 2022. How did I not know that? That's not the right brush. Actually, I'm thinking about like where this would be attached. Yeah, you would reasonably see the like attachment point for the ear. Something closer to like that, maybe. Orchid's kind of got interesting ear shapes. Thank you for this hip reminder. There we go. Heroes 2 is getting uploaded under the topic of life wonders on YouTube. I come back and it's a Starky AMV. Here. I was thinking only keeping Starky full of water. Not Corvid trying to keep to inflate me big and round with water. Sticking a hose in the Starky nanites. Wait, what emote is that? Small. I guess to be fair, like if I think about like what kind of angle we're at, where the ears kind of like line up, because it's kind of like this where they end up being like very out. Yo, get those long ass ears out of the caption. This is just a nice song. I really like the anime. What is this from? This is the Sore Feet song, Ali Kier. Ali Care? It was me, Starky, my male wood elf, 8 cursed east. Welcome on in, Bumblebees. Glad to have you. Congrats on outing yourself as the one who got empregged. What the fuck is what is happening? Hold on, I'm realizing now. I think I might be putting the because I don't know where the back of the head is yet. The anime is Mushishi, basically a guy going around helping people with their yokai troubles. Interesting.
wretch. We're wretch. We're the wretch.
Welcome to the stream, Impregged One.
Welcome to the stream, Impregged One is fucking wild work. I was going to build a castle college in Yupa's game and possibly build an entire kingdom. I see no way this could possibly go wrong. Okay, let me think about, like, head shape. Yupa isn't ready for my level of bullshit. Something kind of like that. What is happening? I'm skipping. Hey, you got one song though. You did manage to get one song in. Okay. This is one of those situations where like I probably should do like a head shape study. I gotta say this game does, or this song does commit the cardinal sin in my mind where it puts siren noises in it. That is a cardinal music sin in my mind. Not even level 4, but I have everything down to my next 2 feats planned out as well. Ritual Caster and Meaty Bomber Master go burr. I mean, it is wise to plan ahead. Something kind of like that, and then okay. Because I kind of got like you know, it's a little bit more rounded than that, but Because I'm to some degree, this is also me trying to figure out, like, I don't want to be like typecast as like you know, draws the same head shapes like all the time. So I'm trying to like push, you know, I'm trying to push the boundaries on like what things I can comfortably draw. This might need to be a multi-monther though, as I'm looking at this though. Jesus fucking Christ. Welcome on, Casper. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. My character's utility bard. I don't attack at all. I have to get creative and beg cost site to let me pull shenanigans like distracting direwolves with ration / convince bands to unionize prevent combat. Okay. I'm sure I'm gonna come back to this tomorrow and be like, what the fuck was I thinking? That is the inevitability of being an artist, unfortunately. Friendly reminder to not eat an entire jar of jalapenos in one sitting. I will keep that in mind. I might do that yet, though. Hold up, because where do the ears attach? Hi, Barb. Welcome on in, Rev. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. If one of my mods is available, can we shout for Rev? How you holding up? I am currently deep in the sauce of like trying my best to figure out how wargy heads work. It turns out very, very complicated. But how you holding up? I'm doing good. Just got done doing my TF May for the day. Oh wait, are you doing like daily TFs for the entirety of May? Because if so, oh my god. Yeah. Oh, good lord. I could never, because I'm very, very slow as an artist. So yeah, I've maxed out the Durgan Wafia as well, all but the sigil thing. I'd be happy that by roughly 2 hours so I don't burn out super hard. That's a very fair and smart decision.
Where the wretch?
What's up, Chris?
And preg that elf with cursed Easter chocolate now.
Fascinating. But, you know, I'm currently trying my best. So here's what I'm working with so far. You will very quickly notice the mistake that I've made. You will see that I have committed an error with this composition, which is the fact that I'm going with this composition. Last year's a challenge I got midway that I didn't want to do anymore. My fucking goofy ass is like, yeah, I could do 3 people in a fucking, 1 point perspective, and then also give all of them, like, this amount of facial detailing work. That's definitely realistic and not fucking psychotic. Bird, welcome on to Segir. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can we show up for Segir? Bird? Bird where? Bird? No, cease. Why am I ceasing? Is it because you didn't want to get a shout out? Because too late, you got a shout out. Get shouted out, you fool. Fuck, excellent. But you know, hopefully you're doing well, Sagir. It was good seeing live again. Although I definitely know like how, you know, streaming is the kind of huge time sink that's like, you know, it is definitely not for everyone. So I'm like, you know, I never want to pressure people into streaming, but I'm like happy to see a stream. Sure. I was looking at a friend in a call I want to hang out with, so I'm gonna mute this and play Warframe. Understandable. But thanks for stopping by. I'm trying my hand at drawing Worgans, and they are difficult. How the fuck does not so fat Matt do this shit? I'm good night, not dead, I guess. Probably because he hornby for them. Isn't Matt like not so fat Matt? Isn't he straight? He's talked about it a couple of times. Like, which, you know, there are lady Worgans and they're cute. But like, I guess like he presumably finds something deeply appealing about them, which I think is super cool. I don't know. Dude, I just work there. I just work here, fair enough. But you know, I've made a horrible mistake with the piece I'm choosing to do because it's going to be very, very complicated. You draw off stream? Not usually. I probably should do it more. Jesus fucking Christ. I think the big thing is like if I'm gonna draw off stream, I wanna draw the horny shit that I actually like can't. I need to channel my freak side if I'm gonna be drawing off stream. So I can actually like, you know. Cause like at that point it's more motivational. Like if I draw like, you know. Like finding motivation and like, oh yeah, let me draw this thing that I could never get away, like, you know, I could never get away with drawing on stream. To some degree, I am getting more confident drawing horny stuff on stream. I mean, the thing I was working on before this was backseating allowed, or backseating is allowed for friends. So go for it, Rev. So good. But yeah, no, I was working on this before, and I'm like, that's a little horny. I welcome critique. Because like even if it's critique that I don't necessarily agree with, there's something to be learned. Because it's like, oh, you know. Is this Iron Mouse?
Me?
Welcome on, Ivan. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Your mannequin might make your pose a little bit stiff. Usually human bodies have some sort of contrapposto going on. Oh no, don't get me wrong. These are not like, I'm not married to these poses. Like you are right that the mannequin poses are very, very stiff. The big thing though is that I'm using these as kind of guidelines for like I'm gonna mess around with the shoulders, you know, like this shoulder is gonna need to be moved back. But like the big thing is I couldn't find a reference for this kind of angle, so I'm like, well, shit. I gotta make do with what I have, and what I have is a perspective tool and a dream. Good day, current time zone. Current time zone. Starky. Good to see you, Ivan. Good show for Ivan. How you holding up? But no, you make an extremely good point, and I'm going to keep that in mind as I go forward. Where I'm like, yeah, like you are right that like this is intrinsically limited. And like I am like, for example, you know, Paw here, which means I'm gonna have him lean into it a little bit more. But like, I hate perspective rulers. My brain does not get on with it. But you know, I'm currently like my big thing right now is like I'm trying to figure out like even how to handle this kind of, because this is more perspective than I think I've ever done, which is almost certainly a mistake. But hey, you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes, so I'm about to learn a whole lot of shit. I figured so that because this is going too far in. But no, like you brought up a good point. I appreciate you for vocalizing that, because it's one of those things where it's like I am still very much in the early phasing of earning art, where I'm like I'm still trying to figure out what even I can do with my art skills and be confident in. But like there are people who, for whatever reason, watch my stream and look and like ask me art tips, and I'm like, I'm not. You are I appreciate the compliment just by asking, but also like you are I am massively out of my depths. Starky Art Borb. I'm vaguely art, vaguely Borb. Let's see. Speaking from experience, Starky, but I learn from you all the time. I mean, to be fair, I think the one thing I can teach in terms of art is just fucking stick to it. Imagine me ask for art tips. Ivan, Ivan, you especially have open backseat privileges. If you ever see some shit where you're like, that doesn't look right, or if you ever hear me go like, why does this look weird? Feel free to fucking start getting borrow some glue. Yeah, okay, what kind of glue do you want? Do you want glue stick? Do you want you liquid glue, clear glue, white glue, TF glue? Care with your analytical brain, you don't overthink yourself. I have the issue. I can never do that to you. Ivan, I am literally asking you. Me grabs the dog kimono thing. It is literally an open invite to backseat me. You have TF glue and you waited until now to tell me? I listen. That shit's expensive. Unless the job specifically requires TF glue, I can't go around offering that as like my primary glue option. Get over here, Ivan. Me literally grabbing you to be like, hey. To be fair, I need to I unironically, like, I need to go to probably DA, and honestly, Ivan, if you would be down to offer critique, I would love it for you to. I'd probably be sending you this as like its own bespoke thing, but like send this to you over like send this over to you on Telegram and get like your thoughts, and like feel free to red mark it. Then, like, of course, if you have the time, sure, I can offer some. I would appreciate it, because I feel like they're like that. This piece has weaknesses, but like I don't necessarily super love how the muscle here worked. You never to ask too much of me. But like I also feel like that like there is some very good like level up art like aspects to that art. Yes, there are improvements that can be made. I mean that's like that is art as a if you want to like if you want to experience the nightmare that is art, the phrase "there are improvements that can be made" is just like that's just the artistic experience. Anytime you're like, oh, let me point out this error, like it's a very rabbit hole statement. Exactly. It's like, you know. Yes, the endless art journey. It really is wild. Like how the vast majority of the time, like, you know, if you ever like, oh, like you commented on someone's art, like almost certainly anything that you've said, like you're going to tell them, they almost certainly have noticed it for themselves. Okay, they got kind of like a band or like a hair tie here. I'll figure out how to do a braid next time. I'm not about to try and fucking figure out a braid live right now. I definitely feel like I'm getting a lot better, like with like I feel like fur patterning is coming to me a lot more naturally now. You can you approximate a braid by stacking heart shapes. 2 days ago, I paid someone to commission my persona. It's a rat, so I'll soon be an official furry. You don't have to have a persona to be a furry. You just have to enjoy anthropomorphic art. That's the only requirement. But with requirement, I still haven't calmed my Sona. Yeah, you need to fix that. Me grabbing you, shaking you. Starky and my partner are the only ones who've drawn them. To be fair, I actually need to like because the time I drew your Sona was very much in like a slapdash kind of way. I need to properly draw your Sona at some point. The big thing is like at some point inspiration will strike, and when it does, then you're not safe anymore. Scott Pilgrim music. But no, I feel like I am, you know. It's like the consider improperly drawing my persona. If you did offer critique, I would put you into the list of people I need to draw. Actually, you know what? I just need to draw your Sona in general. Like you know, that's not fair to put like the caveat. There's like do the thing for me. There are so many people I want to draw for sure. Okay, this is starting to look like Dr. Wolfwalker, at least. Oh my god. What? This is what I'm talking. It really is like. No, wait, no, your goggles are transparent and you're drawing Dr. Wolf. He's a cutie. Oh, absolutely. Dr. Wolf is a huge sweetheart. The reason, so I'm drawing myself, Fox Thief Bran, and Dr. Wolfwalker because the three of us started art around the same time. I will say, looking at, because Dr. Wolfwalker also did the bicep licking pose, and his version is so much better than mine. It fucking, because like I'm really good in general about not comparing myself to other artists, except for these two. Except for these two, because I'm always like, oh my god, like we started around the same time, so like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh. It's Dr. Wolfwalker is if you had a bonky mode, I would use it. Fair enough. Listen, otherwise I'm relatively good about not fucking, like, I'm not, you know, I'm relatively good about not letting those kinds of thoughts creep into my, like, thinking. It's just specifically for these two. It's because, like, we started at the same time. When did y'all start? I think I started around 2 years ago. Actually, wait, you might have started. I have to allow the word thought. I started like 2.5 years ago, so it was literally January of 2024 that I started doing art. Creep into Starky's thoughts like a creepy thought. So you're welcome to creep into my thoughts. But also be warned that you will see some fucking wild shit. I started February that year. Huh, I did not realize you also started. Oh. I'll stick you in the background somewhere. If I got wild shit stowed away in there somewhere, that's fair. Listen, I am asexual, therefore I'm allowed to be incredibly kinky. No. You It's too late. You've already revealed the fact that you started art at about the same time. Okay. This piece is complex enough. I mean, I'm not saying like I'd probably stick you like somewhere here. It's just like a little fox creature. Is it asexual? Not in any gender. Asexual is more like there is no baseline like sexual impulse. I'm pretty indifferent to the concept of gender. I am demisexual pan. You can stick my tail in the background if you want. Yeah, something like that. For sure. Okay. And yeah, looking at the way, hold up, because I'm gonna need to. Being an artist is having 100 things I want to draw, but only the time to draw 2. It really is. It's amazing the amount of stuff I could do with my life if I didn't have to work to keep myself alive. Like, I would get so much more done as a person if I didn't have to work to live. And when I'm on top of art, I fall behind in schoolwork. Yeah, and unfortunately, schoolwork usually takes a priority. Like, it reasonably takes the priority, because, you know. God, I'm so over capitalism. Honestly, huge same. Let's see. I didn't know Brandon Wargy started around the same time as me too, though. Yeah, it like, you know, as soon as I realized that I guess now it's now it's the 4 of us. Where I'm like, yeah, I want to say they started around the same time as I did. Where I was like, I found out one day that like I'm like, because I was talking about how I just started learning, and Wolfwalker was like, yeah, like I just started myself too, and I'm like, how long ago did you start? And he's like, you know, about I think it was like he was like, oh yeah, it's been about a year, and then I was like, wait a second, did we start learning art at the exact same time? And the answer is apparently. Okay, because I need to pull the braid more towards the front. because it's going to be hanging kind of like hanging from the front of his I've been about a year. Starky trigonometry flies by. It's like, yeah, but I've been doing art for about a year. Wait a minute. Hold up. Carry the 2. It's January. Did you say carry the 2? Yeah. Listen, I don't know. Art makes me goofy. I think it's because like I'm so focused on the art where I say some dumb shit because I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Everyone has so much to learn from. I think all 3 of you have clearer lines than I do, and Wolf paints better than me, but it's okay. I have a whole life to learn.
Wait
For sure.
a minute, what the fuck? We're 5 months into 2026.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. Well, welcome to the inevitable passage of time and the suffering found therein. But no, this... There's a part of me where I'm like, don't comment on the art. But also, Wolfwalker did make a very, very hot bicep like emote, or like post. I'll be 27 by the time I'm done with school, passes away. I mean, that's a little, I was 25 when I graduated from college because I had to take a 5th year for my second major. Which that was a fucking awful idea. In retrospect, that was not wise of me. I mean that we're 5 months in 2026. I've been planning another Christmas prank to a different Frey streamer. But, it is funny because like I've had a bunch of people comment on like how much progress I've made as an artist. I think in part because I saved like the very first stuff I was working on before I even like had my software like set up properly. So like I do feel like I get like a lot of people like, oh wow, you've made so much progress, and I'm like, in part it was just me figuring out the fact that my software was like I didn't have the drivers installed for my tablet, so I didn't have any amount of pressure consistency, and I didn't have stabilization. Also, if you are struggling with line consistency, I think like because I keep stabilization somewhere between 10 to 20. Starky, Jesus fucking Christ. Here's the thing. Every artist does this. I know every artist does this. I'm part of the problem, but also art's fucking hard. And I can't draw lines because I draw way too fast. Starky my soul. Azel frequently tells me to slow down. I think that's the thing. It's like this looks so good. I'm recognized that I am a very, very slow artist. So like I avoid rushing myself because I know that I'm still very much learning. I'm sure I'm gonna come back to this. Hold up, flip test. Okay, it's relatively good. I think that I need to make a slight adjustment, or I need to pull this eye and hit. The snoot's a bit boxy, but super cute. To be fair, that is because like I'm looking at the way that wargies are typically like. So this is the reference I'm using for wargies, and they do have they have a little bit of a boxiness going on. You're relatively good. Got on chat. Okay. Listen here, you're right. Oh, I see problem. Wait. Feel free to point it out. Zoom in on Snoot. I mean, it's kind of got like a triangle finish to it. You need to erase the line. Welcome on, Phantom Master. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. How are you? I'm doing okay. I'm currently deep in the art mines at the moment. Hashtag cute. Oh, it's ABBA. Everyone knows ABBA. Everyone. You gotta know ABBA if you're gonna be gay. It's part of the process, you know? Because I think I see what you're kind of getting at. I haven't heard of Rasputin, though. Who's ABBA? They're an old band. Rasputin is from oh, wait, Rasputin is Boney M? Okay. Oh, wait, no, you are very much correct, actually. I love Burbstone. Something about the, them I just love to draw. I mean, honestly, I think that one of the most frequent, like, remarks I get when I commission artists is, like, they're excited to draw a bird. Because birds are relatively rare. Rates are off. ABBA is one of the "Oh, your dad is a closet gay" bands. Oh, absolutely. Not to stereotype or anything, but like that, you know, ABBA is very popular amongst the homosexual community for a reason. Also, yeah, we got 10. How did 3 hours go by that quickly? That's actually like a little horrifying. I think it's the shading. I get this the shade keratin material. Gotta go. Gonna play Mass Effect Legendary. Thank you for stopping by. I was thinking of the save, hydrate, and the stretch. I think it's the shading. I get the shade keratin material and feathers in the face. The only cost is having to draw wing anatomy, which is but oh yeah, for sure. The wing tax is a real thing for a reason. The wing, you know, there's a reason that we have to deal with the wings tax as a bird sona.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
Stinky Nerdbird's name starts with the letter S and ends with RPH.
Seraph. How dare you call Angel stinky? Oh, that's blasphemy. I think I might be afraid to calm because Durgs are generic. Okay, grabbing you, me gently holding your hand and telling you with no uncertain term that Durgs are common, but they aren't generic. I have bad anxiety. Sorry. I'm not gonna you know, I'm not gonna pummel you too hard because I know that you only ever get like this apologizing when you're going through, when you're having the struggles, when you're experiencing the struggle bus. But also, I'm not trying to play this one up right now. Thank you for understanding, just voicing a realization. That's fair. It's like, I can beat you up. I'll beat you up in person. Don't worry. Don't worry. The beating will occur. You aren't safe. But no. Thank you, my friend. Well, no problem at all. Speaking of person abuse, are you going to see it confuzzled? No. So it's difficult for me to fly, and especially right now, flying is expensive. And the reason it's difficult for me to fly, to put into perspective, is I'm a very, very large person, abnormally so. I am 6'8", or in metric units, just over 2 meters. So for me, flying is like a medical event. And I kind of need to fly first class, unfortunately. The winds are difficult. Like, I kind of need to, like, for health reasons. Yeah, I'm 6'3", and I understand. But yeah, for me, like, at that point, it does kind of become a health, you know, a health thing. Hold up, okay, so start figuring out the chest details. Because I am going to have to draw some chesticles. Look, I'm 5'10", and the seats are still uncomfortable for me. Yeah, it is a significant, like, pain issue for me to fly anything outside of first class, which, like, you know, it sounds like, oh, woe is me, but, like, unironically, like, it is, you know, a very real problem, actually. Okay. So this is the rib cage. This is like the front of the rib cage. I don't think you've ever been outside of the US. We've always been wanting to go to Canada. I mean, I have been to Canada for a little bit. Okay, it was great. I enjoyed Italy when I visited too. American airplane seats are so uniquely dystopian. Oh, yeah, I imagine so. Even I get cramped on small regional flights in the US. Yeah. Okay, we're not gonna be able to draw his full shoulder, but like, gods, though gods, what I would give to go to a hot spring regardless of location. I just realized I'm not gonna be able to fucking. I think his juicy arms are gonna be like blocking most of the braid. On my last flight back from the US, I got the whole row to myself, and then back row, so I got extra leg room. Bliss. That sounds lovely. But like, I'm trying to think of like an example of like oh god, what was it? There was a time I like planned a vacation like a couple of months in advance. Let's see. And like because I did that, I got like front row seats. It was for an economy plus, or like it was called like Comfort Plus or something. So it was an economy and not first class, and it was still fucking painful. In part because my fucking juicy thick ass was too fucking wide for the seating. So not only am I too long for the seating, I'm too thick for it too. Dummy thick or yummy thick? I'll show myself out. He's too juicy. Listen, I pride myself on maintaining the bakery. Okay, so this is basically just gonna be like you know, I won't be the small one, but it's very rare that I find anyone taller than me. I more or less have made peace with the fact that I will always be the tall one. But it does mean that I meet many a person such as yourself, where they want to also be the small one. So I'm like, you know what? If I what's that one fucking I don't watch Marvel movies, but what the I guide others to the treasure I cannot possess or something. It's hard to get uppies when you are the uppies. I will give you uppies if we ever find ourselves in the same physical space. I will happily give you uppies. There we go. Bicep look line says, when a country is marginally less terrifying to travel to, and I'm not super. Yeah, no, those are both extremely fair reasons to not visit. I entirely understand and sympathize with both. And that bicep line looks so satisfying. Yeah. Admittedly, I gotta. Here we go. Don't come here, please. Yeah. For your own safety, it is not the time to come here. Probably for like the current rate of things, like at least the next 6 or 8 years. I'm like, you know, it's like, oh, haha, funny you does with me, but like, unironically, like those, you know, it's gonna kind of depend on like, you know, and then. Okay. I think I'm relatively happy with how we've progressed so far, because I've gotten a lot done. I will tell you right now, the time lapse for this motherfucker is going to be massive. When I built like the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz, and all the furs I've met in person are at least double my weight, so I couldn't lift them if I tried. I am both tall and extremely wide. I'm built like a fucking fridge. In fact, like based on what your fridge is, I actually might eclipse your fridge. Because I'm 6'8" and 350 pounds. Anyways, I think this is going to be a clean stopping place, and we will pick this back up on, depending on where I'm at on Thursday. It'll either be Thursday or Friday. Tall and wide sounds ideal. Listen, I'm happy to provide my tall and wide services. Okay, but let's see. Disable requests, and let's see who's live so we can rate out. Let's see. Excuse me. There we go. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. Hopefully it was, you know, relatively good watching the synapses fire, trying desperately to put together these shapes in a way that looks compelling. Let's see. I see Bran. I see Gala. I see Bones. It's been a hot minute since we've raided over to Bones. You can go say hi. Thanks for the stream, Burp. You did a really good job. Thank you for everyone for hanging out. I mean, like, I would be doing this regardless if, like, people stopped by, but, like, having people who are there to equal parts, you know, distract me and, and provide, like, you know, helpful commentary and advice is definitely, you know, Start hitting out right after some furries, giving some furries a mental image of Big Burb. Listen, that wasn't my intention. It just happens to line up this way. You know what? It's so rare that I get a chance to stop by Bones. But also Bones is I'm like Bones is playing a relatively focus intensive game, so I'm like, considering. You know what, let's read over to... Actually, you know, I probably should leave that open as a potential thing for Marsh right into tomorrow in case... You know what, let's read over to Tauntaun. Tauntaun's adorable. You guys will love Tauntaun. Use my Amos or whoever's Amos you happen to have. But yeah, Tauntaun is very doggy-coded. He's very doggy puppy-coded. Or I guess they. Because they're, you know... Gender, we don't know her. Gender, I don't even know her. I don't know. I'm agender, so I don't care. I try my best to be respectful, but I am also a goobus, and I am forgetful. But no, if this is your first time here, I'm StarkyMorph, big Chaos Curling Internet, Bryce streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Mostly I play indie games. However, over the last 2.5 years, we've learned some art. So if you'd like to see more of what I'm working on today, as well as to get to see art that I get commissioned of my sonas, and all the general ramblings, we got the Blue Sky. If you'd like to catch up on all the posts there. Also, I've taken to reposting a lot of art, so do expect some more of that. We also got the YouTube, if you'd like to catch up on the VODs there, see what all we've been up to. Catch up on Danganronpa in time for Danganronpa 2 tomorrow with Marsh, which is, you know, we're going to be hopefully sticking to the regular time schedule for that. I have a Discord if you'd like to pop in there, say hi to all the sweet beans, see the cursed content of those sweet beans post, of course. And we have the coffee sponsorship. If you'd like to pick up some coffee from Dragon Roast Coffee, help support the stream. You get some 10% off, get some really, really good coffee. I highly recommend. Dragon Roast is great. I need to fix the link on that though, because it's a little bit borked up right now. But no, I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out and always being, you know, chill and, you know, pleasant to vibe around and keep me company while I work on whatever nonsense has got me focused this week. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow for Danganronpa. Thursday will be something, I don't know yet. And then Friday will be more art, presumably.